What's happening, beautiful people? Welcome to the Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream. If I don't sound like I'm in a good mood, it's because I'm not, and I'm not gonna pretend like I am. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope your Saturdays were going great. The emphasis is on the word was. Sorry. All right. Did y'all know what we do? We come here to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. We keep it a buck on here, as we say on the You Heard Pod. But this is the Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream for a reason. It's not just about me. It's also about my friendos. By the way, if you're new here, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. We do these for every game. Win, lose, or draw. We come on here and we talk about it. But like I said, it's not just about me. It's about my friendos as well. It's why it's called Chalupa and Friends. So this first friendo joining me is no stranger to the channel. I'm no stranger to his either. You saw me on his channel earlier this week, and he was on last week's stream. Fellow lover of the turnover train, and my Brody from another mother. Ayo, how we feeling about the first half, brother? How we feeling about the first half?
I'm so happy you know how I think. I really like that. The reason why I looked at my phone today, the reason why I looked at my phone today is because the little pop-up said Chalupa has mentioned you. I'm like, what? I'm like, so I went and looked. I was like, oh, you know how I'd be thinking right now. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, looking at the TV screen, like, really?
Hey, when I saw the
3
wheel
weeks in a
route, I
row?
said, Ayo's losing it. I said,
Yeah,
Ayo is losing it.
It sucks saying the same thing over and over again. I mean, it's just, yeah, we'll talk about it.
So early impressions. Obviously, the first half started off a little weird. What are your early impressions or early thoughts on the way the first half has played out so far? So obviously, for those of you guys that may just be listening or haven't been watching the full game, 21-17 Duke. Miami jumps out to an early 14-7 lead in the first quarter. Second quarter, Duke comes back 14-3, which gives Duke the lead. How are we feeling about the first half, Brody?
I mean, I think it's playing very much like a Manny Diaz game, right? Like, this is what we saw from him at Miami, is just keep it close, but he's figured out the offense he wants to run. And against Guidry, which I'm thoroughly becoming frustrated more and more each week with Guidry, is he's figured out, okay, you're going to send seven, and you're just going to toss out 5. 3 are going to cover. 2 are going to be way too far fucking back, out of position, that they're not going to really mean anything. What I'm going to do is just throw a 50-50 ball up. And I'm just going to keep doing it over and over again. And I'm going to watch your DBs make mistakes with ACC refs. And I'm going to legitly just hope that whoever I throw to is going to be on Kiko. Whoever Kiko is going to guard, I'm going to throw the ball up on him. Just toss the ball up in the air. It's a 50-50 ball. Kiko might get beat. He probably will. He runs a 5.9 40 against a running back who's probably going to run maybe semi better. But here's what got me, dude.
Get the PI.
Today, did you see what Booger McFarland said right before the half? He said, Miami makes every quarterback look like a Heisman candidate. Booger fucking McFarland has actually got a point. Like, this is not on my 2024 bingo card.
That's where we are in 2024.
This is where we are. Is I'm agreeing with Booger McFarland. The most anti-Miami, well, actually, ABC as a whole is very anti-Miami, but we'll get back into that. But I'm very disappointed with the defense. Not so much the players, it's the how we're running the defensive scheme. I'm just over it. Like, you're loading up the box and you're just tossing slants out, and you're hoping for the best. But we're making their quarterback, who's 105th in the nation, making them look good. Like, why? I'm confused why we're not running zone, why we're pressing so much of our linebackers so far up to the line. It's like, back them up. Like, I don't understand this. We've seen us get burnt over and over again.
I don't understand how you're still giving inside releases. But look,
I don't.
We got our third member of the panel today backstage. Got to bring him in because we gonna complain about it together as a family. Another guy that's no stranger to this channel. one of my favorite channels on here because his vibe when you go on there is just like you're chilling on the couch with a scotch, even though it's cafecito. It just feels like you're chilling on the couch with a cigar and a scotch in your hand. One of my favorite content creators, and no stranger to this channel. And I know you in the comments, y'all are going crazy because he's a favorite on here. John from Cafecito and Canes. John, first half thoughts, brother.
Oh man, well, AO, I can't say it much better than he did about the defense. It's really frustrating to see. What was it? Second and 17, third and 17, something like that, and Kiko's lined up on their running back. Like, I'm like, you don't see that? I'm fine with burning a timeout if you see a mismatch like that,
Right?
Especially in the first half. But
Yeah,
man,
and a lot.
Yeah. No. It's like, and that was going to be a turning point in the game because I think we were up 14-7 and we were about to stop and get the ball back. Like, bro, that play was a huge turning point because they just marched right down the field on us, and they've been marching down the field on us partially because of dumb penalties. Yep. Although one on Justin Scott, the defensive holding, I don't know how you call defensive holding on a defensive tackle on a running play. I mean, I don't know how that even happens.
He got held.
Welcome back.
He literally got held, and the penalty was against him.
Yeah. And there was another play that Tyler Barron got held. I don't even think they called that one. But I mean, we can't leave it up to the refs, as we know. Then there's other times where it's like, okay, wide receivers stacked up on the left. I know what's coming. Bubble screen. No one shades over. No one does anything.
Nope.
Quick little dump off, easy first down. And then the touchdown that the guy just scored untouched. Forget about Jadis Richard just getting used as a blocking sled.
Right.
Friggin' again, no one shades over there. There's no one eyeing the running back out of the backfield. Nobody. It's just, and it's weird because this was not Guidry last year. I don't understand it.
Right.
I don't know what changed so drastically that he has to go man coverage all day long. So that's my gripe with the defense. Aside from that, it's like we jumped out to a 14-0 lead, making it look easy. Ever since that point, this game has felt exactly like the Middle Tennessee game.
Yeah. God. Oh God.
Where just like
I didn't even think about that till you just said that.
Yeah, similar uniforms. That's part of the reason. But it's like, sparse crowd. A game we should win by 2-3 touchdowns. We're favored by a lot, and it's like one thing goes wrong. Okay, no problem. We'll recover. Another thing goes wrong. Okay, we're still okay. Then another thing goes wrong, and then another. And then another, and then a drop pass, and then a penalty, and then another drop pass, and then overthrown ball, missed tackle. It's like every play, something's going horribly wrong. I'll just leave it.
I gotta ask, fellas, what is it about this team that? So the Achilles heel has been we don't come out firing. Then they come out firing, but it's almost like they get their foot off the gas. They start playing with their food, or they don't seem as aggressive. If you watch after we're up 14, it seems like a team that thought it was the fourth. They started playing as if this is the fourth quarter. It's like the same energy, the same excitement wasn't there. They were asleep on that entire defensive drive. Asleep. What do you guys think it is to where we get glimpses of, oh shit, this can be special, and then there's glimpses of, God, wake up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like John kind of mentioned, and also CB, I want to make sure I pointed out for my drink for today is Bloody Marys with jalapeno pickles. So I know you're a big fan of anything pickle related, as your snacks have, especially those Twizzlers last week. So I want to make sure I brought those in this week. But you're right. And here's the difference too. And this is why I messaged Kane's Twitter directly this week is I had to, because it's unbelievable at times. As a number 5 team in the country, right? How many times have you seen on TV, and everybody in the chat, how many times have you seen the crowd this week? every chance you get, right? Like they keep showing you it. That's why John mentioned sparse, right? Because they keep showing it over and fucking over and over and over again, right? You see it in the stands. Last week, do you know how many times they showed the full stadium? A handful. The whole game. You didn't see it. They actually zeroed in on the field majority of the game. Like, I wanted them to show the whole dynamic of the game because it was sold out, right? So I kept looking for it because I wanted to have screen shots for our show for the background. And I was waiting to get it so I could, write it down what time it was going to be at. It never came. They kept not showing it over and over again. I'm like, show the crowd. Show the entrance. We're prime time. We're the main game. Didn't show our intro. 12 o'clock noon. We're the intro again, right? No. They show Cam warming up, and then they go out to the –
yeah, that was weird.
They go out to a commercial break and come back. Cam's warming up, and then they kick off. They miss our intro every fucking game, bro. Like, this is why it never feels like there's energy there. It's because we miss out on the energy there. Like, it sucks because we're missing a lot on TV, and I think that's what we're starting to see on the field too. Is we don't get that we don't get the full spectrum of the dynamic that we really need. I think the players are flat. I really do. I think you're right. It's flat.
Why do you think that is, John? Why do we see this team look so just different from an energy standpoint? And I'm not talking game to game. I'm talking drive to drive, quarter to quarter sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like they don't have the killer instinct to just like bury a team once it's 14-0 or 17-0 or whatever. We let our foot off the gas. Like you said, against Cal, it happened on a smaller scale. We jumped out to a 7-0 lead. And then they did what they did. Thankfully, we came back. But we just have like an inability to adjust. Like when they adjust to us and they start slowing us down, it's like, okay, now it's our turn to counter that. Let's readjust. Nope, nothing. We, bust play after empty drive. And yeah, it's infuriating because, and the other thing is, Duke isn't playing their A game by any means.
No.
They're not even playing that well. It's little dump offs here and there that are getting way more yardage than they should. Yeah, and I see no energy from the offense. Yeah, I see no energy from the offense at all. And also, this is the first time all season I will complain about Dawson's play calling because it's been excellent up to this point. The play where Cam, I think, took a sack in the red zone and we had to settle for a field goal, I saw Horton running like a corner route where he comes in, then goes to the pylon. X on the other side is running this deep crossing route. It's like routes that take forever to develop.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that in the last game, but we were running the ball fine and it was FSU, so whatever. Right. This one, hey, you got to mix it up a little bit. I was AL, I don't know if you saw it. I was texting the Discord and I was like, yo, how about drag routes? Something quick.
Yes.
Dump off a tight end or a running back, something quick that if it's not there, okay, you settle for a field goal, but it's like a high percentage play that you can get a few yards. No, it's deep crossing routes. It's all this stuff that takes 5 seconds to develop. And then Cam has to do his thing where he keeps the play alive. And that's going to burn him at some point. It is.
Yeah.
So
3rd and 3, it burned him. 3rd and 3, they call this long developing route concept where Cam ends up throwing a bomb on 3rd and 3.
3. Yeah.
3rd and 3, you can't tell Horton to get inside leverage and get me a slant real quick. We'll get fancy after this.
Right.
Let's pick up the first down.
Right.
I love the passing game, right? 6 straight passes to open up the game. I don't think that's the way we should have started this football game.
Right.
And it seems like when we do get some rhythm on the ground, we do go away from it at times when I'm thinking, keep feeding that, man.
Yeah.
If you're rattling off 6, 8, 12, 7, why are we do that until they stop it?
And that's the thing.
That's the part that's a little confusing to me.
We don't have balance. Like the whole first drive was all passing. Second drive and third drive is like we have to run. Like, why can't you mix up the actual play calls to the point where you're catching them off guard? Throw a play action in there. Throw do a rollout. Like, they're killing us on the shit that we should be calling for ourselves. Like, it's just, even like you said, even the slants that we're doing are 5-yard or 8-yard slant. It's like, it's taking too long. Like, run the actual slant for like 2 yards and go in. Like, Horton's 6'4". Why is he giving time to the lower DB to even make that cut? You know what I mean? Like, but we're not dropping 7 and 8. Like, we're not forcing them to read a defense. We're literally playing into Duke's hands. And I think this is the defense to me that we didn't notice with Guidry last year a little bit because he was throwing more exotic stuff out there. But we saw hints of it here and there during the big time game of like Louisville, right? Where everybody's like, oh, this is his poorest, and everybody gave props to Brom, but no one noticed that it was a running back and a tight end in simple fucking plays that were killing Guidry. And what's today? Simple plays to a running back, a slant, and not yet a tight end, but it's coming. You know, Manny's going to hold that in his back pocket, which is weird because it's Manny with a tight end. But I just feel like with all the rumors that are going around with Dawson and Guidry, I get the play call side that John mentioned, but I'm more on Guidry right now. Like, we don't have a championship element defense. It's exposable. You have Kiko. I get you're trying to rotate guys in, but you're still forcing 7 into the box on a guy who can't throw. You have one of the best lines in the country. So prove it. Throw in 4 only. Drop your guys, your linebackers back, and let your defense cover. And mix that part up. I don't understand why we're not doing that.
I'd keep him in the pocket. I keep him in the pocket and make him beat us because he can't beat you.
Right.
He can't. The reason I kept this up is so I've noticed this game. I think Guidry is trying with personnel. We've seen Pruitt come in at outside linebacker a little bit and Bobby Washington. I do think he is trying a bit with personnel. Fellas in the chat, some of this shit ain't personnel. Now, some of it is. At some point, you got to stop playing so much man if you don't have the horses. I love man coverage, but you have to have the horses for that too. Help them out as well. Kiko should never be covering anybody in the slot without a safety over the top. At no point in history of football. And that's not even that's not a dig at Kiko. Right. That is, show me the middle linebacker that should be on this kid in the slot. He shouldn't be. We should have a safety over the top there.
Exactly.
Furthermore, we don't have the kind of DBs where I'm leaving them on an island anyway. So I play a 2-shell with this defense anyway. I don't, but that's just me. We have seen Zaquan didn't really get on the field till more so deeper in the second quarter. I'm curious as to why that's not happening a bit more frequent. There is some rotation on the defensive line. Blunt's gotten in, Justin Scott's gotten in. But I agree with AO. We got the depth on the defensive line. Huddle those motherfuckers together and tell them, hunt. Oh. This is your game to hunt. I ain't giving you no help. I ain't sending no goddamn linebackers. I ain't sending no safeties. This is y'all's game to hunt. Look at Barron and say, go make you a couple extra $1 million this game.
Right.
I'm sending y'all. Get up the goddamn field. Because Murphy's not really that big of a threat on the ground. He can move, but he's not that guy. So if it's me, I'm dropping everyone back into coverage. For not just because I don't necessarily trust guys, but I want that safety. I want my 2 safeties over the top just in case somebody gets behind. Furthermore, we're not a great tackling team, so I need my safety to be safeties. I need them to be my last line of defense because we're not that great of a tackling team. We don't take good angles, so I need my guys back there 15 yards off the football just in case something breaks free.
I got a question for you. So, and I don't know our personnel like that. I know this is more probably directed towards John, right? So I'm wondering this. If Daryl Porter was our best corner last year, hands down, and he's starting to get burnt on these slot routes that aren't helping us out, and Richards is a liability as a corner, OJ is doing you justice on the other side, why would you not swap those two at this point? Like, what would be the harm in switching DP back to what I feel is his strongest position on this defense And that covers you now on the most liability side of our defense. And then you can continue to tweak out the linebackers because they're not having to cover as much room because you have now OJ and DP2 on the outsides and Richards maybe on the inside, who swaps in with other linebackers and shit as a star.
What do you think, John?
That was a great comment you posted there. It's 4 and 5 stars against 2 and 3 stars. How are we not generating pressure? That's a great question.
That is
a great question.
That's true. There you go.
The D line has been, I don't know if it's like on purpose of just like, hey, stay in your lanes, don't over pursue kind of thing. Like maybe what AO is saying, maybe they haven't let the dogs off the leash yet. If that's the case, please do. You got first rounders on the edges. You got Simeon Barrow at tackle. Dude, get after this dude.
Yeah.
Like, screw it. Just get after him.
I would literally say you four go in as much as you can. Throw your hand up when you need a break. We'll send the next guy in for you. Otherwise, it's relentless fucking
like
pressure.
A goddamn hockey substitution, dude.
Yeah, like every time. Throw your hand up after the play. Boom. You're in and you're out. Like, you four know exactly what you're doing.
The young guys, too, if somebody gets tired, don't even ask them to think too much. Cole McConaughey, get your ass out there and get the quarterback.
Boom.
I'm not even asking you to think right now.
Because that's
I got guys at linebacker and in safety that'll think for you. Get up the field. Get this guy off his spot. He's going to throw you one.
Right.
We're almost running out of time, so let's do what we like to do before we get to halftime. I like to let my guests be our coordinators. John, I'm going to let you be Guidry. Ayo, you're going to be Dawson. What? I had to make you Dawson because I was going to make you Guidry. You was going to start cussing out people.
I was going to walk out. I was going to just quit. I'll just walk out of the house.
What adjustments are y'all making real quick before halftime?
Go ahead, John.
Okay, sorry. Like you were saying, AO, D line get after the QB. More zone, a lot more zone. If all Murphy's getting is 3-4 yards at a time, give him that. He's gonna screw up. He's not a great QB. And that's it. And if you're gonna blitz, actually blitz. Don't send like 1 or 2 extra guys on a delayed blitz because at that point it's too late. Set the freaking house if you're gonna blitz.
Right.
Right there, that was a good play. Mesidor got in the backfield, a little incomplete. Okay, just D-line, just keep getting after it, man. I mean, we're better than their O-line is.
Yep. If I'm on offense, all I'm doing is this. I'm moving our pocket. I'm going quicker for the routes, and I'm mixing in the run game more and more and more. I'm not getting away from the run game. That's it. I'm good. We blow them out.
Play inside. Corners, please. Stop giving inside releases. They love a slant.
Yeah.
Just stop giving inside releases. Thank y'all to both of my guests for coming and hanging out. All their links are down in the description. Go follow them on YouTube and on Twitter. Fellas, we're going to continue to pull our hair out for the rest of this one. Hopefully the Canes can pull this out. The defense really has to lock in. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. This is going to be one of those stressful ones. Son of a go Canes. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, go follow both guests. We out it.
And don't lose to Manny.
Ever.
Please.
I know.